Now, this is the remaining part of the medulla oblongata, because I cannot record the whole 1 hour lecture. It gets deleted every time. I have to take 2 to 3 hours lecture, which get deleted, and then again retake and retake and retake. So that's why I have divided into 2 halves. Now we will see about the TS section of the medulla at the level of fourth ventricle. What is at the level of fourth ventricle? Okay, TS section through the upper part of the fourth ventricle. Now diagrammatically we show you this. This is the inferior cerebellar peduncle. Okay, then over here you have the medial thalamus. Okay, just for our sake I'm drawing this picture. Okay, over here we have the medial laminiskis. You have now same thing we have. Okay, first over here in the median plane, got it? Over here in the median plane, I really don't have chalks also to draw for you people. Then we have over here the hypoglossal nucleus. Got it? This is the hypoglossal nucleus of hypoglossal nerve. Okay, then besides this nucleus of hypoglossal nerve, got it, there is another nucleus which is present, and this nucleus is nucleus of vagus nerve. Got it? It is the nucleus of the vagus nerve. Still lateral to that you have the vestibular nucleus. Got it? This is the vestibular nucleus. Got it? This is the vestibular nucleus. Below that you have the medial longitudinal. This is the inferior cerebellar peduncle. Okay? Below the hypoglossal nucleus. Got it? Below the hypoglossal nucleus you have the medial longitudinal bundle. So this is the medial longitudinal bundle. Got it? This is the medial longitudinal bundle. Okay? Then remaining is the same. Got it? You have the nucleus of the trigeminal nerve. You have the lateral spinocerebellar tract. You have the dorsal and the ventral spinocerebellar tract. You have the inferior olivary nucleus. Got it? Inferior olivary nucleus. In addition to this, you have the pyramidal decussation. Isn't it? You have the pyramidal decussation. Okay? So this is the crossing of the pyramidal tract. Isn't it? And here down you have the pyramid. Okay? This is the pyramid, and below the pyramid you have the arcuate nucleus. Got it? It is like an arc. So that's why it is called as the arcuate nucleus. Huh? Here is nucleus ambiguous. Nucleus ambiguous. Rubrospinal tract. इसको रेड में ड्रॉ करेंगे तो वो पता चलेगा. Rubrospinal tract. Okay, so see, there are many structures which are present along the upper part of the medulla. Got it? There are many structures which are present along the upper part of the medulla. When you take the transverse section of the upper part of the medulla, which is also related to the fourth ventricle. So see, on either side you see the inferior cerebellar peduncle. Through this inferior cerebellar peduncle, the medulla is connected with the cerebellum. Got it? By the inferior cerebellar peduncle. Now, this section consists of various nuclei in the midline. Got it? In the midline is present the hypoglossal nucleus. Got it? In the midline, the right side and the left side. These two things, these are the nuclei of the hypoglossal nerve. On either side of the nuclei of the hypoglossal nerve, you have the nucleus of the vagus nerve. You have the nucleus of the vagus nerve. Then still lateral to this nucleus of the vagus nerve, you have the nucleus, vestibular nucleus. Got it? You have the vestibular nucleus, and then just near to the inferior cerebellar peduncle. Got it? Inferior cerebellar peduncle, you have the nucleus of tractus solitarius. Got it? You have the nucleus of tractus solitarius. Got it? You have the nucleus of tractus solitarius, and here below down you have the nucleus of ambiguous. Got it? You have the nucleus of ambiguous. Got it? All these nuclei are very, very important because various centers, got it? Various fibers of various centers are present over here. Nucleus of tractus solitarius, nucleus of ambiguous, you have the trigeminal nucleus, you have the lateral spinocerebellar tract, you have the anterior and posterior spinocerebellar tract, you have the olivary nucleus over here. Got it? Olivary nucleus over here. These are the fibers of the pyramid. Got it? These are the crossing fibers of the pyramid. Okay, this is the lateral and the medial laminiskis. Lateral and the medial laminiskis, which is present over here. These are the pyramids which are situated below it, and these are the arcuate. Got it? These are the arcuate nuclei. Got it? This is the arcuate nucleus present at the lower part of the medulla. So you have the hypoglossal nucleus, you have the vagal nucleus of the vagus nerve, you have the nucleus of the vestibular nerve, you have the nucleus of tractus solitarius, you have nucleus ambiguous, you have nucleus of the trigeminal nerve. Got it? So these all nuclei are present in the upper part of the medulla oblongata. The hypoglossal nucleus of the nerve of the hypoglossal, nucleus of the vagus nerve, nucleus of the vestibular nerve, nucleus of tractus solitarius, nucleus of the trigeminal nerve, and nucleus of ambiguous. So these nuclei are present in the upper part. This is the lateral and the medial laminiskis, which is present over here, and these are the dorsal and the ventral spinocerebellar tract. This is the lateral spinocerebellar tract. This is the inferior olivary nucleus, and again in the midline you have the pyramid, which is present over here, and below to the pyramid is present the arcuate nucleus. Below to the pyramid is present the arcuate nucleus. So these are the structures you will see when you take the TS of the medulla. Got it? When you take the TS of the medulla, and got it? Through the upper part, that is at the level of the fourth ventricle. Now the clinical importance of the fourth ventricle, you have the medial cerebellar, it is the medial medullary syndrome and the lateral medullary syndrome. Since we are talking about the medulla oblongata, we have the medial medullary syndrome and the lateral medullary syndrome. The medial medullary syndrome is caused due to the blockage of the anterior spinal artery. Got it? The medial medullary syndrome is caused due to the blockage of the anterior spinal artery. Got it? And when there is blockage of the anterior spinal artery, what will be the features of this medial cerebellar syndrome? Medial medullary syndrome. It will be contralateral hemiplegia. There will be contralateral hemiplegia.
If the lesion is on the right side of the medulla, there will be affection on the left side. Got it? If the lesion is on the right side, the affection will be on the left side. There will be loss of sensation of vibration and position. मैं कहाँ हूँ ऐसा लोग बोलते हैं ना, तो the patient is not knowing whether he or she is sitting on the chair, bed, got it, standing, walking. So there is sensation of loss of position and paralysis of the muscles of the tongue of the same side. Now see, paralysis of the opposite side, but paralysis of the muscles of the tongue on the same side. Why? Because the 9th cranial nerve, isn't it? The 9th cranial nerve, the 12th cranial nerve is originating from the medulla oblongata. The 12th cranial nerve is originating from the medulla oblongata, and this 12th cranial nerve, it is supplying the muscles of the tongue. Okay, so that's why there will be paralysis of the muscles of the tongue on the same side. So medial medullary syndrome is caused due to blockage of anterior spinal artery, and this will lead to paralysis of the opposite side, loss of vibration, sensation of vibration and position, and there will be paralysis of the muscles of the tongue of the same side because of the injury to the hypoglossal, because of the affection of the hypoglossal nerve. See, I showed you over here the nucleus of the hypoglossal nerve, isn't it? So the nucleus of the hypoglossal nerve is present in the medulla. Whether you take the lower section or whether you take the upper section, the nucleus is present. So affection, the nucleus will get injured and there will be paralysis of the muscles of the tongue on the same side. Now next is the lateral medullary syndrome. Lateral medullary syndrome is due to blockage of the posterior inferior cerebellar artery. Posterior inferior cerebellar artery. Got it? Blockage of posterior inferior cerebellar artery. What are the features over here? The features are ipsilateral paralysis of the muscles of soft palate. Got it? Ipsilateral, this paralysis of the same side. Okay, ipsilateral means paralysis of the same side. So you have paralysis of the muscles of soft palate, you have the paralysis of the muscles of pharynx, you have the paralysis of the muscles of larynx, and there will be loss of temperature and loss of sensation of pain on the face of the same side. Got it? On the face of the same side, and loss of pain and temperature of the opposite side. Loss of pain and temperature of the opposite side. Why? Because you have the 9, 10, 11, isn't it, cranial nerves originating from the medulla, and plus there is involvement of the trigeminal nerve, since there is loss of sensation of pain, got it, and temperature along the face. Okay, so and there will be giddiness. There will be giddiness due to involvement of the 8th cranial nerve. There will be giddiness due to involvement of the cranial nerve. So see, sometimes in paralysis you must have noticed. The patient is not able to swallow. The patient is not able to talk. The patient's voice cannot be heard. The patient is understanding everything, whatever you are speaking. When you call out the patient looks at you, isn't it? But you are not able to, the patient is not able to answer. He wants to answer, she wants to answer. But because of the paralysis of the muscles of larynx, paralysis of the muscles of pharynx, the patient is unable to talk. The patient is unable to produce voice. Got it? The phonation is lost and the patient is unable to swallow. Got it? You put anything in the mouth, the patient, it will remain in the mouth. The patient cannot swallow it inside. So that is all about the lateral medullary syndrome. So there is involvement of the 5th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th cranial nerve. Got it? Because of which, and even the 8th, because this will be associated with giddiness. Got it? And injury to the lower part of the medulla is very, very fatal, because in the lower part of the medulla there is situation of the respiratory system, there is situation of the respiratory system and the vasomotor center. Got it? There is situation of the respiratory center and the vasomotor center, and what will happen? Injury to the lower part, directly there will be failure of respiration, patient is unable to breathe, and this can prove fatal. So this is all about the medulla oblongata. In the next session I will talk about the points. Okay, so I hope you understand whatever I am teaching. I am taking efforts to simplify and to explain it to you in simple diagrams and to put up in simple words so that you understand in a better fashion. If you still have any difficulty, you can always ask your queries. Thank you.